My name is Tony Gonzalez from Made in Metal, and today we are talking to Kobi Farhi, the leader, the singer in Orphaned Land. Kobi, let me tell you that I was born in Cuba. I discovered your band there in Cuba, and I have never imagined that one day I will be talking to you. How are you?
It's good to have you here. I'm doing okay. These days are not very easy days for the people of Israel. Of course, we are in a very big era of conflicts and war and death and problems. But I am okay. My family is okay, and we are trying to keep our spirit and hopes very high. And I'm looking forward for better days.
Where are you now?
I'm at home.
Yes, but in Israel?
Yes.
Oh, it's a problem. Yes, and but we are here because you are going to release a new album called A Heaven You Might Create. It's a live album with orchestra. What is the idea behind the title A Heaven You Might Create?
So first of all, this is a line that also appears in our songs in the past. This is a line from the lyrics of the song Mabul. And in this song, we say this line 2 times. And it was also the line that ending our album, Oh Warrior. This is a line that we always use. The complete phrasing is go in peace and find thy fate, evolve thyself and lose all hate, so a heaven you may create. This is the whole phrasing. So being a citizen of Israel and the Middle East, being the children of this bloody area, we always saw how we succeed to create a better world, a better understanding, a better humanity with our music. And so this is in a way the heaven that we create. And this is our message, that a heaven you may create if you will lose all your hate, if you will try to embrace love and peace and friendship and coexistence. A heaven you may create. That's, in one sentence, the purpose and the meaning of Orphaned Land. So this is why we chose this to be the title of this live album.
So, and is the Orphaned Land Oriental Orchestra part of this biggest orchestra?
This is definitely the biggest orchestra we ever used. It was the 30th anniversary of Orphaned Land in this show, so it was a big excuse to make this very huge concert. I think metal bands always love the idea to make a show with the orchestra. You know, Metallica did it, and many other bands did it, like Septic Flesh or Tear or Rage, and of course there are many more. This is always great to combine these two styles of music because classical music and metal music has a lot of similarities in many ways. And it was very challenging, and it was an amazing experience to work with so many people, and we are very happy with the result.
How do you feel after 30 years recording and playing alive around the world?
It was a feeling that this is a very high point in our career. It was a very big show. It was in the Hall of Fame venue in Tel Aviv for 2,500 people. So it was feeling like really the highest point of the career for us. It felt like this is a good gift for 30 years of work and writing and efforts. And this venue, it's not a venue for metal music, but the metal people were very happy to come to this venue because it's a very respected venue. And for the first time, the metal people come to this place. So it was a very good feeling for us and for the audience. And it was a very, very, very unforgettable experience.
When the band was born, it was 1991, when the grunge was in the best moment around the world, and Orphaned Land was very far from this musical style. Tell me, Kobi, were you thinking of being different than the rest? or you are different because you are from Israel?
We were thinking that since we come from Israel and the Middle East, we do not want to sound like Americans, for example. Because Americans, they make the music that fits the Americans. And we come from the Middle East, we come from Israel, and we should use the elements of the territory, of the tierra, of this area. So from the beginning, we thought that we have a lot of topics to talk about in our place. This is what we wanted to do. We wanted to talk about the conflicts. We wanted to talk about the wars. We never wrote about our ex-girlfriend or our love life or personal life. It was always about this situation. From the beginning, we love grunge music, of course, but we thought this is not ours. We cannot do it. I mean, I love flamenco. Okay, I really love. I have a tattoo here that it's like the tattoo of Camarón de la Isla. I really love flamenco, but I don't think that I can sing flamenco because I'm not from Andalusia, and I will never be in. I mean, I can feel when I listen to it. I really love it, but I don't think that I should do it. I'm from Israel, and we should make things that related to this place.
It's not the first time that you work with an orchestra, but in this case, that is the biggest orchestra that you have ever played with. Tell me,
Yes.
How did you work with the musical part? Did you write their musical part, or did you have an orchestra director that wrote it for you?
Okay, so first of all, we have an orchestra director that he was meeting with me and the band. And together with him, we chose all the songs. We chose the set list for the show. And after that, with this set list, he went to different people, like maybe 6 people, who did the arrangements for the orchestra. So every people did arrangements for 2 or 3 songs. So it's not a one guy who did all the arrangements. It was a few people. And then they send us the studio album of our songs together with a fake orchestra, like a sequence. Like they put it in the computer and the computer play the orchestral idea. And we listen to it with the band, then we send a few corrections. Here, change it like that, do it like that. And after this, it was ready for him to go and work with the orchestra. After he did that, we did rehearsals with the orchestra and the band together. We did 3 very long rehearsals, like 5 hours of playing all the time. And we even did rehearsal in the day of the show. After we did the sound check, we did a few songs again, just to be sure that it's correct. And then we played the show. So it was a long process. We had a musical director for this. Of course, you must have it. Because you also need people who know how to write to classic orchestra. We know how to play heavy metal, and we need the experts to do that. So, and it's also good to give other people their talent to mix and meet with our talent. So this was the way to do it.
So it's not the first time that you work with Noah Gurman and the Hell Score in this CD that I like this CD a lot. She's singing in the new orchestra CD. Tell me, how did you work their vocal parts? I am thinking more in this than in the orchestra, but how did you work the vocal parts? Did you give, because it's like a traditional singing. Tell me,
Yes.
does she need a lot of points, to a lot of marks, or you only tell her, do it that, and on the first and second take, she catch it.
Okay, so first of all, Noah is very, very talented. She is a phenomenal singer, and she has very good abilities to learn and to do some stuff. In some of the parts that she sings with us, she practice it and then she send me the results, and then I send her some corrections. Sometimes I send her on WhatsApp a recording of myself. alone without music, so she can hear the nuances, the small parts of the singing. And when I do it, she brings it to a perfect performance. She's very professional and takes very serious her job. And it's very easy to work with her because there is nothing she couldn't do. She is willing to do all the challenges, and she's a phenomenal singer. It was very hard. Many fans used to love our former singer, Shlomi, who used to sing in songs like Sapari. And they were very scared of how Noah will do it, because Shlomit, she's a very traditional singer and she knows to do it perfect. But Noah did it really amazing in the live album, and people are very happy. And even Shlomit, our former singer, she told her, "You were perfect." So we are very privileged and happy to have Noah with us on the band and on our albums.
Give my regards to Noah because I follow her career and she is really extraordinary musician. And in your case, now you told me before that with the orchestra director, you select the songs. And now I would like to ask you, did you select the most challenging songs or the songs that were easier to work with an orchestra?
We didn't go to the songs that are easy to work with an orchestra. For example, we opened the album with 16 minutes, two songs connected, Mabul and The Storm Still Rages Inside. The amount of information in these two songs, it's crazy because it's not repeating itself. It's a lot of riffs. It start here, go there, go there, go there. It's changing all the time. We started the show with the most sophisticated song, actually. So we simply chose the songs that we think that are the best for this show, and we chose the songs that we think that will be great with classic music. We didn't go to the easy songs, for example.
And tell me, you told me before that about your lyrics and the way that even when you like heavy metal, you don't follow most the American style or the American songs. I think that you follow most the Mediterranean style a little. And tell me, did you follow new music, new guitar players related to your kind of music? Like, for example, Bombino, the Tuareg guitar player?
Bombino is amazing. All the Tuareg musical movement is very interesting. And of course, I follow him. In Turkey, I follow a lot of the psychedelic rock movement. Sometimes you don't even follow new stuff. You go back to the history of the music in Turkey. It's very interesting. In Africa, of course, with Ali Farka Tore and stuff like that, it's amazing to see how people take an electric guitar and they interpretate their own ideas into the guitar. And I love how people use the guitar. If it's Bombino or if it's Paco de Lucia or if it's Jimi Hendrix, it's all, you see the way that they interpret it, and I really like it. I really like it. Also in Israel, we had a singer called Aris San. He used to take a guitar and he used to play it like it's a bouzouki. So these things are always very interesting and they stand out to be, sound is different and everything is different, and I like it very much, of course.
Yes, Kobi, I stand up because I would like to show you this. I wrote this book 2 years ago. And in this book, there is, you can see.
Oh, great.
Did you recognize?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So I follow the metal bands from Israel since more than 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yes. And this is the reason why I'm going to ask you this question. Do you consider Orphaned Land the creator of the musical style called Oriental metal?
I think so, that we have established this style. I remember that in the 90s when we recorded our first cassettes, so the posters of our shows, we used to write in the top the first Oriental death metal. This is what we wrote in the 90s. And people, I mean, metal bands used some Oriental elements. Even Iron Maiden did it. Even Metallica did it sometimes. But we put it very upfront. We used a lot of instruments, the languages, the religions in a very, even the visuals. So we took it to be in the front of everything. And this is why this was an establishment of a genre, because we didn't use a motive once in a while. It was in the front. It was always there. Hebrew, Arabic, the instruments of the Middle East, and of course the use of religion elements from Bible and Quran and Old and New Testament. Those were the motives of the Oriental metal, and we started it. Definitely, I think that we are the fathers probably of this genre.
Some people consider here that Mirat is the kind of band that follow the step of Orphaned Land. Do you consider that they follow the step of Orphaned Land?
Of course, they themselves told me once that they were fans of Orphaned Land when they were young. They grew with our music, and a lot of they and even more bands told us that we gave them the inspiration to not to be ashamed of their culture, but to use their musical culture in their music. I think Mirat is an outstanding band, amazing music, amazing vocalist. We are good friends with them. I love them very much. And I definitely think that they are followers of the style that we established, of course.
Yes, and in your case, even when you maintain the part of the Oriental metal, you have changed from extreme metal to progressive. How was this progression, Kobi?
This progression started when we started to listen to more progressive bands. We had 8 years gap between our album El Nora Alila to Mabul. And in this time, we started to listen a lot to bands like Porcupine Tree and Opeth and progressive bands, and we were really into it. So we decided that it will be good also to use these progressive elements, which we started to use in the album Mabul. And I think it did only good for the band because progressive music is amazing, and it was a good addition to our stuff. To be more extreme, it was belong to the 90s and to the first two albums, which were also Oriental very much, but I think that we had to move on for some more progressive music.
Now that you tell me this, how was the experience working with Steve Hackett in The Night Siren? Did he bring the songs already finished or give you an opportunity to create part of the music?
It was amazing to work with him, my friend. I was sure, I was amazed that he sent me an email, because this is a musical god. This is the guitarist of the early days of Genesis. He's a guitar hero. He's of course an amazing person. So I was in shock that he contacted me. It was great to work with him. There was one part of the chorus where he wanted me and another Arab singer that he asked me to bring to sing the way he guided us. But then there is a part on that song where I sing freestyle. So in this part, he told me, do whatever you want, and I will use something of this. The greatest part actually was when he asked me if I want him to pay me money for the recording. Or he asked me, do you want to get paid, or do you want me to record the solo for your next album? And I immediately told him, listen, Steve, what will I do with the money? Buy pizza? Buy a jacket? Of course I want the solo. The solo will be there forever. So he recorded an amazing solo in that album that you showed me earlier, Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs. It's a great solo from Steve Hackett, and I'm so happy that this guitar legend is a part of my legacy and band. This is a very good moment for us to have him with us.
There are really good musicians in this CD. Really good, really good. And tell me, are there any other guitar player or band that influences you or Orphaned Land in the 90s?
In the 90s, we used to be very big fans of Iron Maiden and death metal bands like At the Gates, Death, all the bands that they had very complex guitar riffs. We really like those riffs of At the Gates, for example, and Chuck Schuldiner from Death. Those were the biggest influences, probably.
Yes. And then once the CD will release, what are the next steps?
So we were thinking to tour Europe in 2024. I hope that this will happen. And we also plan to tour South America in next year. Next year should be full of shows. I hope that the war in the Middle East and Israel and Gaza will not disturb this. And after this, we need to create a new album.
Good.
Yes.
Very good idea. I let me tell you that I saw the band at Hellfest some years ago. And to me, something that was important was your message of peace about the three religions that become from the Bible. Yes? And do you keep the same idea?
It's very hard to keep the same idea in the times of war because people from both sides expect you to follow their opinion. But we always believed in humanity. We always believed in peace. We always believed that people can live together and enjoy the life and enjoy the music, the good food, the good life. It's amazing for me to see that people still kill each other in 2023. Technology is so advanced. Science is so advanced. Everything is so advanced, but the war is still here. And that is a failure of humanity. This is the failure of humankind that we didn't find the way to solve our conflicts until this point. But I still believe in all the things that I believed in all these years, and in Hellfest where you saw us. I'm still the same person, of course.
I still believe that the people will be better than they are.
I hope so too.
Yes.
I hope
So,
so.
Kobi, this was your time, my time. If you want to say something to say goodbye, this is your moment, and then we say goodbye.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this interview and for letting me to tell your listeners and people about our new album and music and ideology and ideas. So thank you very much. I say hello and peace to everyone. I'm sending energy of music and love and friendship from a place of war right now. I want to spread as much as love as possible to everyone. So I send all my love to everyone.
Thanks to you, Kobi, for your way of thinking, for the music, and for the band. I hope to see you next year here in Spain.
I hope so too, my friend. Thank you for having me and see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.